Tessellations. That's a big word for patterns full of shapes that are repeated. Tessellations are all around us, and once you know what to look for, you will see them everywhere. People have used patterns throughout history to add beauty to the things they create, from buildings to quilts. You can find tessellations in the design of an iron gate. You see them in brightly colored tiles used in the bathrooms and kitchens of homes. Tessellations are found all over the world. Many cultures use designs made of repeating shapes. There are patterns in woven rugs made by the Navajo Indians, and in carved wooden screens made by the Japanese, as well as on the outside of a mosque in Afghanistan and a castle in Spain. What exactly is a tessellation? It is a shape that repeats itself, filling the surface without any gaps. The shapes fit together like a puzzle, without overlapping. The word comes from tessella, an ancient Roman word meaning square tile, like the ones used in Rome many years ago to create mosaics. A mosaic is a picture made up of many pieces of stone or tile. Only certain shapes can be used in tessellations, such as squares and triangles. Hexagons, shapes with 6 sides, can also be used. These shapes are all called polygons, which means they have 3 or more straight sides. The sides must all be equal in length, and the shapes should be about the same size for the tessellation to work. Some shapes don't work at all. For example, circles. Try putting coins together on a table. There will be spaces between the coins, so that is not a tessellation. The same thing would happen with octagons, which are 8-sided figures. So you can't make a tessellation out of stop signs either. Another thing that tessellations have in common is symmetry. That means if you have a pattern or design on a piece of paper and fold it in half, both sides will match exactly. A daisy is symmetrical, for example. So is anything that is reflected in a pool of water, such as a tree next to a pond. Once you know what to look for, see how common tessellations are in everyday life. The large square tiles on the floor of a kitchen, for instance, are tessellated. So are the small tiles around the tops of many swimming pools. Sidewalks with their large squares of concrete are tessellations that go in a straight line. Quilts, blankets, and pillows often have patterns woven into them too. See how different colors are used to make the pattern stand out? You could make a tessellation with shapes of all the same color, but then you might not notice the design at all. With different colors, artists can make all kinds of pictures appear within the shapes. One of the most famous creators of tessellations was the Dutch artist M.C. Escher. He used math to create his designs, which are much more complicated than just squares or triangles. Some of his most well-known pieces of art show repeating patterns of fish or flying birds. Sometimes it is hard to see what is in one of Escher's drawings until you stand back and look at it a different way. Escher traveled throughout Italy, Spain, and Switzerland during his life. He was inspired to start drawing tessellations by a castle he saw in Spain, with patterns on the walls and ceilings. Now, there is an Escher museum in the Netherlands, and even an asteroid named after him. There are also tessellations that occur in nature. Look at the designs on some leaves and flowers. Butterflies often have wing patterns that tessellate. The best example of a tessellation found in nature is made by bees. That's right. A honeycomb inside a beehive is made up of many little hexagons. Start looking around you for shapes that repeat, and soon you will see that tessellations are part of your life. And you didn't even know it.